Ladies and gentlemen, Yannick's choice, and hopefully your choice too, widely reported, has won the title of preferred bidder. It looks like Todd Boehly's consortium has made it through, and Reign will present them as the preferred bidder. So basically this means, I think essentially, I don't want to go too early, but I think this pretty much means Todd Boehly will be the new Chelsea Football Club owner. He needs to pass the owners and directors test, and the government need to approve it from Reign, but I don't see any reason why the Reign would say no. We're going to go through this in a moment. We're going to go through what this means for Chelsea, but huge news, multiple sources, all kinds of publications and newspapers are saying Todd Boehly has been selected as the preferred bidder. So Pagliuca got told it wasn't him today. Similar with Broughton. Obviously, if you watch my last video, Ratcliffe came in with a very big late bid, though it's been recently reported that he had been working on it for a long time. He just tabled the bid later, so Reign didn't see them out of nowhere. They were probably in conversations with Jim Ratcliffe. I always wanted Boehly. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but again, to reiterate, what this is essentially saying is he has won the race with Reign, which is the merchant bank that are handling the sale of Chelsea Football Club. We're going to reflect on it today, ladies and gentlemen. Please do drop a like if you're feeling good, baby. Finally, we're going to move forward from this horrendous, hopefully, situation, as in hopefully we can finally move on. I'm feeling pretty good about it, so thank you for dropping a like. You're welcome to subscribe. Road to 150k and all that, but that's not important. What is important is Chelsea might finally have an owner, and boy, we could have a good owner in Todd Boehly. So what do we know about him? Well, he's the majority owner. He's got the biggest share of the LA Dodgers. Now, interestingly and importantly, he took them over when there was a moments of controversy around that the team, the club, and he came in and revitalized them, made them whole again, and made them win, which we'll talk about in a second. Chelsea are currently in a state of controversy with our owners. You can draw parallels to that. He's got experience coming in and settling things. He seemingly has so far, touch wood, skeletons in his closet, Todd Boehly. So he's got experience of coming in with a team that's experiencing controversy with their ownership and needs a shift. He's had a positive result with that. He's made them win, the Dodgers. He's got involvements with other successful teams as well, but we're using the Dodgers as an example. And he's gone on the record and interviewed and asked what governs success for him. And he just said, look, nothing else but winning titles. He's not competing at the highest level, trying to give Man City and Liverpool a good game. We always want to be in Europe. He's obviously not spoken yet about Chelsea, but his ethos isn't to compete, it's to win. He says that's what governs success. What makes a successful sports franchise is winning championships. He's gone on the record and he said that. So his ethos is winning. And there's other elements of his ownership that really, really intrigues and excites me. That he's heavily data-driven, and that's so important. I know all owners to a degree will have to look at data and stuff, but I don't think Roman Abramovich was a heavily data-driven owner. He just loved football and was a multi-billionaire and had money to spend. Why not buy Chelsea? I now love Chelsea. I'm going to spend loads of money on Chelsea. Great, it's great, and we loved it. And long may it continue, or that's how he felt at the time. But at the same time, look at the model of again, it's a buzz comparison, but Liverpool, they spend a decent amount of money, but not much, and they spend it perfectly because they're a data-driven company in terms of club, but company in terms of how they do their business, the perfect players in the perfect positions in the perfect style of football that suits them top to bottom, and they have continued success without spending silly money, certainly without spending the money Chelsea spent. So a heavily data-driven, owner who has experience with winning sports teams. And I actually think the fact how it's not a football team or a soccer team, and by the way, he doesn't use the term soccer, he uses football. I think that's actually helpful, bringing in external sports perspectives into the Premier League climate. We can hope that he retains the likes of Marina Granovskaya and Petr Cech, and certainly, of course, Thomas Tuchel for continuity, and I don't believe Tuchel will be going anywhere. But also, on top of like the data-driven stuff, Todd Boehly spends to win. You know, the Dodgers have spent lots of money on players to win championships. So you've got this, like, you know, history of taking over a team in turmoil. And granted, Chelsea aren't in turmoil. We're reigning champions of Europe. But Chelsea have got a vibe of always being in turmoil. Plus, we have the controversy with the sanctions. So he's got that experience of coming in with a peculiar situation and doing really well. You know, he hasn't got he's not sports washing like the Saudis might have been doing. He's not, you know, got problems like the Ricketts family. You know, even like Broughton's consortium with, you know, Real Madrid fans and Arsenal fans and stuff like that. And Ratcliffe as well. Like, what's his motive? If you watch the previous video, I was raising eyebrows at that. You know, of course, a Manchester United fan. It doesn't matter what clubs they support. That's relatively trivial. I recognise that. But I just didn't really connect with him. And I've always thought from the beginning that Todd Boehly was a good example of, or a good opportunity. Because, yeah, like Ratcliffe, he's tried to buy Chelsea before. In 2018, so 4 years ago. So he's had that fermenting and percolating in his head, like what he'd do with Chelsea and the fact how he wants Chelsea. He's got people on his team that, so far the reported story is that his consortium have presented to Rain Group is that they have the most realistic and most convincing roadmap of how to redevelop Stamford Bridge, and they've proven they can do it. They've proven they have access immediately to a lot of funds. Unlike the other consortium that would take out loans, and like Pagliuca apparently. He's like, look, we've got loads of money. This is exactly how we're going to redevelop Stamford Bridge, and we've proven to you that we can do it, which, by the way, loads of other prospective owners couldn't do. It's a really, really tough redevelopment job for a multitude of reasons because of, like, you know, what's around the bridge, and they don't want to move away. So the fact that they can prove that they can redevelop Stamford Bridge, the fact how they want to spend money to win, but at the same time they don't want to waste money to win, but they do have the money, and it's that ethos of winning championships is the only way if you own an elite sports team. On top of that as well, he's gone on record before and spoken out against the European Super League, which for me is massive. You know, obviously, if you watch my channel, you would have remembered when that reared its ugly head, and I, like many football fans, was, you know, really, really unsettled and scared about the whole thing. So he's spoken out against that. Man, like, I don't want to get overexcited because, let's be honest, you don't know till you know. It can be a disaster. And maybe I'm wrong to have these perceptions of a prospective owner. Maybe I'm wrong to do so. But whatever, I'm just going with how I feel, and I feel like looking at the options, I've just always felt that Todd Boehly kind of made sense. And remember, he was first in the door. He didn't do any messing about. Like, all the others dipped in and out late. They were talking in public. Todd was straight in there with his gang and he was like, right, we can do this. Can we do this? Yeah, let's do this. And this is how we're going to do this. Really, really convincing. And I feel pretty good about it, man. Chelsea have become lackluster on the pitch. I think there is problems now seeping in, the uncertainty seeping into the players, the management team, and indeed the fan base. And I think it would do not everything related to Chelsea good, but the Premier League good. Like, right, bam, put a line under it. Chelsea have got a new owner. What's this guy going to do? And I really need to, emphasize how he's not the Chelsea owner yet. He's just been reports are suggesting he's been chosen as the preferred bidder. So now, of course, he will need to make his case to the Premier League owners and directors test, and of course the UK government. I doubt the UK government will want Chelsea to suffer anymore. It's a bad look for the government. Boris has said it before. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, I don't think they want... If they get presented with a really good case by Rain, who, by the way, have been doing loads of work into this, I think the UK government will say, fine. Again, speculating to a degree, but it seems like there's no skeletons in his closet, and it seems like he's got the easiest access to funds. So therefore, I think the owners and directors test shouldn't be a problem, though I think it will take a minimum of 1 or 2 weeks. I think up to 2 weeks, even if they, streamline it, but that's kind of okay. I think if there's the preferred bidder and the government accept it, sanctions could get lifted soon. Stamford Bridge could be full again, and then Thomas Tuchel can start having meetings with Todd Boehly and the owners and the other owners. You know, the people at Hans-Jörg Wyss. I don't know how involved this guy is going to be. Goldstein obviously brought in for the Stamford Bridge redevelopment, but massive news. Lots to get into. Of course, I'll be covering this extensively on the channel, what we can expect. I'll be looking at articles. We will react here on Chelsea News. So let me know what you think. Comment down below, and do subscribe and like, and hopefully you'll look forward to this new ride with the new ownership with me here on the channel on Football Therapy. Keep it real. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, bitch.